Hey YouTube, today I'm going to do a video I've been thinking about doing for a while. It's of my go bag. This bag is made by Proper. Proper used to make some military ACUs and stuff, and I don't know if they still do, but I do have some multicam ACUs they have, and I've never had any problem with any Proper equipment. This bag's been a really good bag. I've not beat this bag up much, you know, it's either at my house or in my truck, and sometimes I take this bag on vacation depending on where I'm going. It's a go bag. I mean, we'll look at the contents of it and you can decide if it's something you might want to do or need. It does have a handle on the side to carry it. It's a sling bag, so it has a strap on the back. It's got some webbing here to attach some stuff and leash it. So let's get into the contents of the bag. There's also some molly webbing right here on the side. There's some webbing, not really molly, but you can leash stuff on right here on the sides too. So let's get into the contents of the bag and see what's in it. First of all, in this front little pocket right here, there's a Endpoint toolkit that comes with your micros and stuff. There's some 2032 batteries. There is a CR2 battery, and there's a Surefire holder with 6 Surefire batteries in it. This thing does have an O-ring, so it is waterproof, weatherproof. It is made by Surefire. I'm assuming they still make these. I do not know. I've had this for many years. And that is all that's in that pocket. There is also a side pocket right here, and in that pocket I keep just a simple medical kit, some gauze, band-aids, Neosporin, stuff like that. Got some mechanics wear gloves. They actually have some padding on them. There's some impact on the back. There's a headlamp. It's a good headlamp, Princeton Tech. I mean, it's not very expensive, but it's always done what I need to do. Push the button, again, hold it down, it goes off. It's not expensive, it's not cheap. It's kind of a mid-range price point headlamp. It's always done what I need it to. I got a tail cap in here. You'll see what that's for after a while. It's a spare one. I don't use that one. I have an ink pen. It has a Fisher Space Pen refill in it. It's a metal pen, so if you ever have to strike with it or something, you can do that, a defensive tool. I also have some earplugs in this pocket, and have an Emerson E-Tac knife. I do like this Emerson. This is one of my favorite Emerson knives. I like how this right here is designed. It really locks into the hand well. I really like the blade design of this knife. I did change the pocket clip. I put a deep carry pocket clip in it. Emerson pocket clips are really strong. I'd say I don't even think this one's probably as strong as the Emerson was, but the Emerson pocket clip actually, you know, leaves a lot of the knife sticking out of your pocket, so I put a deep carry one on it. Now I can't remember where I got this at. If anyone wants to know, just leave it in the comments and I'll try to look it up and see if I can find where I got it. And that's pretty much all that's in that pocket. In my upper pocket up here, there's also a small pocket up here. I have a tourniquet, rat's tourniquet. There's a redundancy of tourniquets in my life. I always keep a tourniquet around. And a Surefire light. Have the tail cap screwed back so it doesn't accidentally come on. This is a E2D Executive Defender, but I did buy a different head to go on it. I bought a newer head with more lumens. The head that was on this light still works. I have no issues with it at all. If you can see how beat up this light is, I think this is a big testament to Surefire. I've had this light for several years. Back when I bought this light, I really couldn't, you know, afford new $200 lights. Back then, you know, I didn't make the money that I make now. I'm not saying I make a lot of money now, but you know, if I want to buy a Surefire light, I can go get a Surefire light. But back then I couldn't, and you can see how beat up this light is, and it was beat up whenever I got it, and well used. And I found the head on eBay back then and got a good deal on it, so you know, I didn't have a whole lot in the light all the way around. But this light, I carried it for many years, and it's still ticking, and that's good on Surefire. The side pocket over here, it's actually a drink holder, but I keep Quick Clot in it. It's just a trauma pack Quick Clot. You never know when you might need Quick Clot, especially if you need this bag, you might need that Quick Clot. In the main compartment now, this is probably what most people have been waiting on. In this compartment, it houses an AR pistol. The way I do this is I put a Law folding adapter on the back here, so it folds out. I got the CAC Industries pistol tube with a SB Tactical brace, which is, as far as I know, is one of the only ones that's supposed to be legal to actually shoulder. This is a Noveske gun. I will show you that it is unloaded. I do not leave one in the chamber when I have it in my bag. Mainly because this bag, if it's in the truck, is beating around or something, and I don't want a round in the chamber. So I leave a magazine in the gun, but I do not leave a round in the chamber. This is carried under covered under my CCW since it is a pistol. So technically I could keep one in the chamber, but I do not. And like I said, this is a Noveske pistol. I used to have another pistol that I had put together for this use, but I decided I wanted to build a Noveske. I don't know why. I'd never owned a Noveske, so I actually built this one. It does have a Noveske rail on it. It has, what all is Noveske on this? It has a Noveske bolt carrier group. That is actually Noveske. It has a Noveske barrel. That's a real Noveske barrel that I ordered from them. It does have a Noveske upper, but it's made by Volter. It's supposed to be a more robust upper to this pistol, so I did go with the Volter on that. I do have a Noveske charging handle, but it's made by Radiant Arms. It's one of the, those ambidextrous ones that Radiant makes. I really like those. I have a lot of those on my rifles, so I went with that. And the only reason I bought it with the Noveske symbol on it is just because I was building the rifle Noveske, so I bought a Noveske charging handle. I did go with the Strike Industries mag release button and mag release here. I did like that, so I didn't go with Noveske on that. I did go with the Strike Industries bolt carrier release. So I did like that a little better. I do have the Badass Ambi safety. Those are my favorite safeties. Those are on all my rifles. This one does have a Geisley SSA trigger in it. Geisley is my favorite trigger. And I even went so far to buy Noveske takedown pins. I just liked how it had the little cross on it. So I think you can see that on both of them. So I did go with that. It has a Streamlight Protac light. This light is very bright. And the thing I like about this light, I think Streamlight really has something going here. I've never had a problem with this one, which this one doesn't see much use, but I do have another one of these lights. And I have used it quite a bit, which I have shot with this one. You can see right here it has some carbon on it where it's been fired. No issues at all right there beside the Vortex Shorty. This is the Shorty. The only place I could find this flash hider was on Spike's Tactical. I did have a muzzle brake on this. It was a Bravo Company muzzle brake to try to keep it short. And the reason this does not have a muzzle brake on it anymore is because when I took this out to sight it in, I was a little bit too excited to fire it, and I forgot to put my ear pro down. It was still up on my head when I fired the first round. I thought the gun had exploded. That's how loud this little 7.5-inch barrel was, and I'm not lying. I looked down at my hand to make sure it was still there and the rifle was still in one piece. I don't know what decibel water is, but I could not hear the shower running for about 3 days. Now since then, everything's fine. My ears don't ring too bad. One or two times ain't going to, totally kill your hearing. But it did hurt. I ain't gonna lie, it did hurt. But that's why I went back to a flash hider, because that was just way too loud. But back to the light. So the thing I do like about this light, I love Surefire lights. I've always loved Surefire lights. I like Streamlight also. But the thing I think that Streamlight has on Surefire, this light right here, is only about $100 or $110 off Amazon. It's pretty reasonable. And it comes with the tail cap switch if you don't like running the tape switch. But it comes with a tape switch with momentary and constant. I have a Surefire Micro Scout, and the tail cap switch to be able to put the tape switch on it was about $50 some, and then the tape switch with the constant on was like another $100. So by the time you just buy the tape switch, you can buy this whole package. Now, is this as durable as a Surefire? I don't know. You know, I put Surefire through the mill. I mean, this right here is a testament to that. I've had zero issues with this one or the other one that I have. So I have no reason to believe that this light will not hold up. But for the money this is, you just about can't beat this light, especially getting the tape switch as the constant and momentary on. It comes with these brackets right here that you can mount it on top of your Picatinny rail, along with zip ties to actually hold it down also. I always go with Troy flip-up sights. I know a lot of people go with Magpul, M-Bus sights, and other Magpul sights, the pro ones. But the thing I don't like about that is they will go down when you push on them. When my sights go up, I want them up. I don't want them going down until I push this button right here and push it down. I don't want to accidentally hit something with my rifle and knock my front sight down, and then I don't have a sight. I want my sights locked. I don't care if they're locked in the down position. They can come up if they want to, but I don't want it going in the down position when I need it the most. So that's why I went with those sights. I have these on all my rifles, and I always will have these on my rifles until they come out with something better, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. So that's my sight of choice. Now, I do have an Endpoint Micro T2 on this with a LaRue Tactical QD mount. I love the LaRue mounts. There's also American Defense makes good mounts. I have some of their mounts also, but I went with the LaRue on this. I like this Aimpoint. You know, they claim 5 years on a battery life. I usually have mine on setting number 9. I got about 1.5 to 2 years out of it, and it started blinking, telling me my battery's going dead. And I just changed this battery probably a week or two ago. So it lasted about 1.5 to maybe 2 years at the most. So on a lower setting, yeah, you probably can go longer, but on a setting that I find is useful for basically everything, it lasted about 2 years, which is why I have extra batteries in the bag. Also, I got the clear front cover to help protect the lens. So if I don't have to worry about flipping down lens covers. I know you don't have to, your eyes will compensate with the black lens cover up. But I went ahead and went with the clear lens cover in the front. It comes with a clear one in the back. So you don't have to worry about the back one, but I did go with the clear in the front. I did put the BCM covers on the rail to kind of give it some better traction, kind of dissipate the heat off your hand a little bit. And I went with the Ergo grip. I have these grips on all my rifles. I keep that all the same on every rifle. It's all common. The Badass safety lever, it's all common on all my rifles. The triggers are on all my rifles. So when I pick a rifle up, I don't have to try to relearn something. I don't have to wonder if it's got an ambi safety on it. All my rifles right here are all the same. Muscle memory is key to being fast. And if my muscle memory is the same on every single rifle, I pick this thing up, I'm ready to go, I come off of it, it's back to normal. I have the same motions through everything. So I keep on the lowers of my rifle, everything's the same. So I don't have to worry about that. So, is there anything I didn't go over? I do have a Spikes Tactical. I went blank there for a minute. Trigger guard here. It's a bigger trigger guard. You can get gloves into it if you need to. So I did put that on it. As far as this Law Tactical, y'all might have some questions about that. I've never had any problems with this. I did have this on my other rifle, and I took it off to put on this because I thought it was too expensive to actually buy a new one, because these things are over $200. I do have a Spikes T2 buffer in here with a Spike spring, but I've never had any issues with this. It locks up tight. I do stake it on. I have a Bravo company Sling Mount right here in the back of my end plate. So I can run a 1-point sling. I don't like 1-point slings. I'm thinking about putting the Bravo company's Sling Mount up here so I can run a 2-point on this. It'd just be a little tight. I may actually have to run it closer to the end so I can still get my hand into the light switch here. The only problem I had putting this together, I've put together a lot of AR-15s, but the only problem I had was torquing the nut down to get these 6 screws right here to line up with this Noveske rail. I don't know if I'm the only one that's ever had a problem with this. I actually had to send back my barrel nut to Noveske and get a new barrel nut because it wouldn't line up. And I know you can switch sides and it has different holes on both sides, and I tried both sides. And even on the new one, I tried both sides. And I had to put a lot of torque on this. I'm on the upper end of the spectrum with this lock nut. And I put the grease on the threads and everything, but that is the only problem I had with this was getting these screw holes to line up. But other than that, everything went together good. So that is the pistol. I do have an Ariska mount. I think that's how you pronounce it. I use these mounts on all my rifles. They're low profile. They put the light at just the perfect angle. I'm not sponsored by anybody, but I do highly suggest these mounts because they are so good. And the last thing inside the bag, in here, I carry 3 mags. They all just have ball ammo in them. You know, the military carries ball ammo, so why not just carry ball ammo? So I have 3 spare mags with these stretchy mag pouches right here. I searched everywhere for these. They're Blue Force gear. I actually found these on Amazon, I think it was, but I searched everywhere to find a mag pouch that would Velcro in when I finally found these. So that's everything in that bag. Like I said, this isn't a bug out bag. I don't carry food in this bag. I don't carry water in this bag. I have bug out bags in my truck if I need food and water or shelter or something like that. I have a bug out bag for that. This is just a, SHTF bag. If you find yourself in a bad neighborhood by accident, your GPS takes you somewhere off the beaten path, you find yourself in some kind of riot situation, which is happening a lot more these days. God help us, I hope nobody ever needs anything like this, but I would rather have it and not need it as need it and not have it, because on the day you need it and don't have it, it's going to be too late. And that's why I go back to these 2 items here, Quick Clot and the Tourniquet. If you, like I said in my other video, if you need the contents in this bag, the likelihood that you or someone around you is in need of a tourniquet or Quick Clot is probably, highly likely. I'm not just talking about I'm not even talking about even just in riot situations. I mean, look at the Las Vegas thing. I mean, this couldn't have helped the Las Vegas thing. I'm not saying it could have. The guy was way up in the top of a building shooting down on people, and there's nothing you could have done about that with anything like this without storming the building. But that's happening more and more these days, and you are your first line of defense for your family. You have to keep your family safe. You can't carry a police officer in your pocket. It'd be nice if you could, I guess, but I'd get a little heavy. People talk about how much stuff I carry in my pocket. If I carried a police officer, my goodness. But so I'm not saying this may be a little bit, a stretch for some people to think, hey, I need to carry this. And I'm not saying you need to carry this to feel safe, but in a situation like that, if it's on the ground, it's not shooting from up high, it's hard for somebody to have an AR-15 or an AK or any other weapon, and you fight them off with a Glock 19. So that's why I have this when I go to places I'm not sure about where I'm going. I'm not real paranoid, but stuff is happening more and more these days. So it's just good to be prepared. So, do I feel bad I carry this? No. My family's life is worth this. It's worth 20 of these. It's worth 30 of these. It's worth a house. My family's life is worth more than anything. So no matter what I have to carry to make sure we make it home at night, that's what I'm going to do. So, some people will call me paranoid, and some people may call me other things even worse than that. But personally, I don't care, because as long as I'm home at night with my family, what those people think about me doesn't bother me. And it shouldn't bother you either. Make sure you get home safe. Hope you like the video. Please like, share, and subscribe.